Hey guys, we're really honored to have the beautiful Kirsty McKnight join us today on TBHF. She is the beautiful creative force behind Design Sense Interiors. Kirsty's an interior designer based in KZN. She works across residential, hospitality and commercial spaces. But today's conversation goes far beyond beautiful spaces. We're talking about the woman behind the brand, her journey with motherhood, creativity, loss, mental health, which I know you feel extremely passionate about. So this is a very powerful and very human conversation, guys. So wherever you are, I invite you to get comfortable and join us for today's Truth Bombs. Welcome, Kirsty. Would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Thank you for having me. It is an absolute honor to be here today. I am an interior designer, I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 3, and I'm just a human being that's gone through life and experienced loss and grief, but also incredible opportunities. And I love to hug, wear leopard, and just live every single day to its fullest.
And we're loving the leopard. We're absolutely loving the leopard. So, take us back. So, how did Design Sense Interiors come about? We want the nitty-gritty from the start. Give it to us.
So, I would love to say that Design Sense came about with me having this whole big plan and setting aside money for 2-3 months, this whole big dream.
Yeah.
No. Design Sense Interiors came about in a space of fear, the complete unknown. I had left one company to join another company. My life was going to be more simple. I was going to be able to have time with at the time, I think Dylan was almost 1 year old,
okay.
And Cora was 7.
Wow.
And we had just moved into a new house. Our family was growing. I was starting a new company, taking on a lead designer role, and I was super excited.
Yeah.
And then I got retrenched.
Bugger.
Yeah, and I went home that afternoon and I had to obviously explain to my husband that there was no income coming from my side now. And I thought to myself, I can sit here and I can wallow and I can feel bad for myself and I can blame everybody else and just be upset.
Yeah.
And instead I decided to start something new. So that afternoon I decided, what was I going to call myself? What was I going to call my business? Definitely didn't want to name it after myself, as everybody does.
I think we all gravitate to that in any business.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put our names together and see how we figure this out.
No,
I'm guilty of that a while ago. So, yeah.
No, so and I thought to myself, I sat there and I was like, what am I going to call it? And I thought, I need something that just makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there it is. And I wrote it down and it stuck, and it just
Sense Interiors.
Yeah, and overnight it happened. So I went back the next day, packed up my stuff, brought on board one of the other designers that also just was like a deer in the headlights.
Wow.
And as 2 very young women in the industry, we started out, and it was terrifying, I won't lie. It was cold calling architects. It was trying to build a brand. Are we going to do a website? Do we need to be professional and have our own domain? No, you don't. You can have a Gmail address. You can have a clipboard, a tape measure, and a computer.
And get going.
And you can do it.
Yeah.
So we did
Well,
it.
you've proved that. Yeah. And how many years is it now?
So, gosh, I actually don't keep track. Some people go and say every year they have the celebration that I know it began on the 29th of July. That is when Design Sense was born. But 2019 we started, and we saw our first year through hard lockdown, which was brutal and terrifying. That moment where we were told we were going to have to stay at home.
And
we had just taken on a huge project down at Durban Beachfront, a PwC. So massive big client who we went up against. I think it was six or eight other design companies.
Yeah. You guys got it.
And we got it.
Boom.
And then we're put into hard lockdown and had to work remotely. But we did it. So
and juggling kids in the midst of that and home and
and I'd actually got the word from Cora's teacher literally 2 weeks before hard lockdown that if we didn't make some drastic changes, she was going to fail the year.
Oh my God, just add on.
So the day the president announced that, this
Yeah.
teacher phoned me personally and she said to me, listen, do not panic. I will be at your side every single day. And she was. Every single day of hard lockdown, she messaged me.
But how amazing
So,
is that to have that one
that
teacher
support.
that actually pushes, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and puts in the effort.
Yeah.
We need more of that,
Yeah,
that
we
teacher.
do,
Arjun.
we
We need more of those teachers.
We need more of those.
Gosh.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so it was
So you
hard.
had your plate full. It's actually overflowing.
It was quite hectic, yeah. So growing a business, stuck at home with, I mean, Dylan was not even 2. He was like 1.5. So yeah, it was hectic, keeping him busy. He used to literally climb the burglar bars to get out the windows. Yeah.
And then you're juggling that,
Juggling that, and of course baking, because everybody had to bake in hard lockdown.
We
So
all became your top chef. We were master chefs. I mean, we were brilliant at baking and cooking
Yeah.
and everything. But there wasn't much to actually do to keep yourself kind of, I mean, except for, well, working from home as well. But
yeah.
you still, to keep also sane, I would think. As
Yeah. So
Just,
interestingly enough, a friend of mine who's also my kid's godmother, her
Yeah.
and I decided the night before hard lockdown, they came over and it was like this might be our last chance to see each other and that for a
Yes.
long time. And we pulled out a whole lot of fabric, leftover fabric from scatter cushions, and we thought, stuff it, we're making masks. Before masks even became a thing. And yeah, we chose a couple colours in that because her and I were not wearing these hospital masks. No, we're interior
you
designers.
want
It's
to
not
fancy.
Oh, we had leopard ones, we had flower
It had
ones.
to look bougie. Come on.
I think she had one for every outfit.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how to use a sewing machine. None whatsoever. I went over to my mother's place with my late granny's sewing
Right.
machine.
Right.
Literally about, I think it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the day before lockdown started. And I said to her, right, you have 30 minutes, teach me how to sew.
Wow.
So, I mean, we ended up having orders of, I think, 100 masks that I shipped up to Joburg during hard lockdown. Like, we used to sell masks.
Talk about making a plan here.
Yeah. We used to sell masks to get other things.
Yes,
Not
yes,
proud of it,
yes.
but I did swap 6 masks for a bottle of gin.
I think there's a lot of people that would have went the barter route, definitely. We were desperate, man. Come on.
Yeah. So I put a thing on the group. I said, I've got 6 masks left.
Yeah.
Anybody wants it? You know, it's
Can
yeah.
you do a little bit of a swap?
And this guy put on the community group, I'll swap you a bottle of 6 dogs for 6 masks. I was like, all right, well that's about a 600 rand bottle of gin. Yeah, bring it.
Okay.
So yeah, it was very interesting times. But like I say, other companies closed, other companies had to retrench staff and that, and we made it work. We obviously cut costs where we needed to. We learned how to work remotely and how to do Teams meetings and all of that. And yeah, even though our sites shut down, we carried on in the back and we did all of our drawings and that, got our quotes in, so that the moment building sites were back in, we were out on site, yeah, with our fancy masks on.
Of course. No,
So,
but that's. I mean, sure. Those were trying times, really trying times, but to have pulled through, and I think resilience plays a huge role in there. And I think also being a mum becomes part of it, because as mums we push through.
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever, you've got no time to sit and feel sorry for yourself. It's like,
No.
sorry, we've got to put food on the table. We've got to do, we've got
Yeah.
little mouths to feed. We've got to get going. There's no two ways about it. So I hope you gave yourself a couple of pats on the back. And then, I mean, because you now fast forward to 2026, and tell us more about. I'm so keen on. This morning I actually remembered our kids were in Wonderland.
Yes.
And I think you did Wendy's son's if I'm not mistaken, his flat.
Yes, we did. Not his flat.
That
We
was-
assisted with a friend's flat or something. Yeah.
Something like yes. And I was like, wow. So actually, it's been from a long time with you and this whole So wow, man. So tell us more about the work that you've done and
So it
and what
started.
different avenues and
I was very, very fortunate to land a very good client who's actually the owner of Spa Durban Group, and Alvina has spas all over the country. She is an absolute inspiration.
Yeah.
She built her business from literally a massage bed in the back of her car, going to clients' houses and that, and now she has spas all over the country.
I love hearing stories.
So
like this.
it's
so
incredible.
Inspiring.
It's incredible, and I mean, I've seen that woman open up 2 spas in 1 year and go through a divorce, and she is
just
and for me, I was like, if you can do it, then the small little blips I've had in my business where, yes, we've had months where we've had no clients, then we've had months where there's lots of clients, and it's that juggling that is, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And you know, when you work for somebody, it's like you get your salary on the 25th, some people on the 30th of every month. When you're a business owner, everybody else gets paid. You get the scraps.
Basically.
Yeah.
I know it's so easy. You know, people have this misconception of, she's a businesswoman. She owns her own business, and no, like everyone else gets paid beforehand.
Yeah.
And then it's not as if you're working and then you're like, come to the 25th or the 30th. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting my salary.
Payday.
Regardless of whether our boss has found work or not found work, we're getting our salaries, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's the tough part.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
One of the things that I will say is obviously being a mom and a business owner, you have to wear a lot of hats, but you also have to juggle where some months cash flow is great, and then some months you've got to say to your kids, no, sorry, we can't go to Ono 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd love to.
Yes.
But you've had a long day at work, and you come home, and well, fortunately for myself, I work from home. But it is right around the back of the house where hopefully they don't always find me. They've got to go through the kitchen, scullery, and laundry to get to me. So it helps.
So at least it's just not directly.
Yeah.
So,
But I also have line of sight to the snack cupboard, so I can keep track of that as well.
That's good.
I cable tie it every now and again when they don't understand what no is. But it's something that is very real, and I think a lot of people think, oh, you're a business owner, you work from home, this is my best. Because I work from home, I'm not a stay-at-home mom. And a lot of people think, okay, you've got lots of time to do laundry, you've got time with your kids, no, my laundry basket is overflowing, because even though I have the best lady helping me, it's a juggle. It's a juggle.
And you've got to now compartmentalize work, your school runs, kids' homework, feeding your children. Most importantly.
It's a lot.
So there's not enough hours in the day.
No, there aren't.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So
it's around 90, and often people say to me, they say, oh, well, you obviously work a 9 to 5 or this, that, and I'm like, no. I'm a mom. I have about maybe 98 plus work hours a week, and it's because work doesn't stop when you get home. There's still other things that need to be done.
Yes.
And often, if I'm in a stage of a project where I need to get design development out and that, I will stop work at 5, feed, bath kids. Hubby often does the bath and kids side. I'm in the kitchen. We do all of that, and then 8 o'clock everyone goes to bed. I come downstairs, make myself a cup of tea or coffee, and get back in the office.
I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Completely, yeah.
And then some nights everyone will come downstairs at 6 o'clock the next morning, lunches are made, and I haven't slept because the work needs to be done.
Yeah.
So, and that's the side of it that people don't see. They see you're successful, they see you doing well, but they don't see
the hard work behind it and the juggling behind it.
It's like a ballerina.
Yeah.
You see this beautiful poised woman on her point shoes, and you don't see what her feet look like out of the point shoes.
Yes.
So if anyone has a chance, Google what a ballerina's feet look like without point shoes on. That is behind the scenes of being a business owner and having 3 kids.
That's not the beauty. I say the beauty and the chaos.
Yeah.
Just because it's manic, and I don't know about you, but I am also very OCD and pedantic about being the one that makes my kids lunches and does this. And I think over the years, I never wanted help.
Yeah.
Now I'm very accepting of help after 3 kids. It's like, come husband.
Yeah, go do it.
But
No, it has to be perfect. And
that's so. Hence is where Shane, my husband, he's thrown in the towel because it's like I can't do it the way you do it. You'd rather just do it, and then you're happy with it. And because I think we also so programmed in that.
Yeah.
You know that it has to be. But it
Yeah.
actually doesn't have to be. But I guess
I've unpacked the lunch bags and double checked the lunch boxes. Yeah.
So, yeah. So you feel me?
Give up the control. No.
Just one little checklist, just to be sure.
Just make sure. You might have left out a spoon.
That, yeah. So yeah.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever left out a spoon? You give them the yogurt and you leave the spoon.
I did. Oh gosh, not even. It's definitely more than once. If I remember, there's three just like you. So I definitely have done it with each of the kids.
Yeah.
I think with the middle one, Shane. I've done it a few times. Yeah.
So my son walked down the stairs in front of his principal and everyone and went, "Mom, you were clearly half asleep. You left the spoon out my lunchbox." And I was like,
"Oh my gosh." Yeah, these kids and no filters. How old are your kids?
So my eldest is 14, and then my middle one is 7, and my youngest is 4.
Yeah. How's life with a 4-year-old?
Intense. It's you never know what you're going to get from day to day. We're still doing potty training.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't mastered that. We have mastered the art of manipulation. We have mastered the art of stealing snacks, and we have mastered the art of not going to bed on time. But we have not mastered potty training. No.
And the cheek with that, don't you think? I mean,
so Dylan, my 7-year-old,
right.
His theory behind potty training is absolutely brilliant, and it just shows you. Dr. Mundra, our pediatrician, warned me about this. He says your child is bright.
Yeah.
He turned to me and said, "Mom, I don't need to potty train." This is when he was 4.
Okay.
So I said, "Well, okay, boy, you tell me why."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, Mom, astronauts wear nappies."
Now, how do you even have a comeback for something like that and to a 4-year-old? I mean, for him to
what
have...
do you say? No. So I was just like, "Yeah, boy, in your own time."
But I also realized as well, because, I've got a 4-year-old and he literally rules the coop. I mean, there's certain days where it's, God, I love this child too, but it's like I will literally want to eat him up.
Yeah.
But if I make a comparison to my 2 older kids, there's so much that I didn't have to go through with them that I don't know how to actually approach it. Like the other 2, we never had tantrums. There was nothing
They didn't do
of that
anything
sort.
like that, yeah.
And then as this Mr. turned 4, it's like something snapped. We have a tantrum thrower.
Yeah.
It's what I want. And you don't know how to actually deal with this. I mean, he's become the child that if you sit in a restaurant and he would literally scream. He would scream if he wants something and he can't get it. And you're like, okay, how do you try and be calm.
Yeah.
You're like, no, Leo, you can't. And all you want to go is like, just stop it.
Yeah, you just want to scream back at them.
Come on, everyone's waiting, just calm down. And then, but I've also realized as well, I don't actually worry about the outer noise anymore. It's like, hey, if you're in a space where there's kids and they're being unruly or whatever then you go into a private area. It is what it is because kids are kids. Yeah. And how do you now take a family outing and make it into a very restricted one and a frustrated one where you're constantly reprimanding your child?
Yeah.
But yeah, with that
it's not fun for them.
No, 4 years. We didn't have terrible 2s. We didn't even go through terrible 3s. And then 4s came along and I'm like, where's my child?
Where's this tiny little dictator come from?
I know. And it's like, I don't know how your one is, but he rules a house. Everything revolves around our little guy.
So she's exactly the same, and I spoke to a friend of mine because I started to get a bit concerned about it.
I've been there.
Yeah, and she's actually a psychologist, and she said to me, there's 2 rules with kids like this, and she's like, you need to understand, firstly, that child is the 3rd child, okay? They feel the need to speak a little bit louder and be a little bit pushy because they often sometimes feel like there's so much else going around and the other 2 might be demanding with homework and this and that and extracurriculars that they don't feel seen. So it's their way of feeling seen.
Right.
And she said also we tend to forget because the other 2 are so much older that your little one, when they've been at school all day, they come home and they've been told to behave and be quiet and that, because the teacher's got like 30 kids in the class, although ours are at Signet, so there's like 16.
Right.
But still, they get home, and that 30 minutes when they get home, they are like letting go because they've had to be quiet.
Yes.
So now they get home and you are like, what is this chaos? Who is this monster? And you can either choose to let them just go wild and then at the 30-minute mark say, hey, rein it in now. Or you can go wild with them, and then that just messes the rest of the afternoon and evening up. So for me, like, I always say to myself, practice what you preach, but some days it's easy.
And some days it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I was chatting to my best friend the other day, and I'm like, because we both felt pregnant in our 40s, well, as we turned 40, and I'm like, how do you feel? Because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, and the constant of like, if you don't see him, you know.
Oh, jeepers.
Something. But then there's days where, and honestly, Shane, most days he's just in his element, and but I've also noticed if they're out of routine, they just all over the place.
Yeah.
But once they are like balanced and in routine, then listen, there are still the cranky days, don't get me wrong, but it's a little less.
Yeah.
But boy, I mean, I'm going to be 44 and I'm like, gosh, how? Like, I sometimes look at my husband and I'm like, how are we dealing with this? Couldn't this have been like our first child? Then the next two would have been like more calm and chill.
So I had a rule. I had a rule because I always wanted 3 kids. Always wanted 3 kids. So with my first marriage, hubby didn't want children. Like he was like unsure and that, and I was like, I just want one. Then settled for it. I'm okay with one. One's fine. Then had Dylan. Great. Got my girl. Got my boy. I have my pigeon pair. Everything's fine, right? And then went through hard lockdown and realized that a 7-year age gap is not ideal. They fought like cat and dog. So then I was like, right, well, I want a third. But I have always had this rule. Like, my mom had me young, and my sister as well had us both young. I don't want to be that mom that is struggling and is older with small kids. So I had a cutoff of 35.
Right.
I think I turned 35 a couple weeks after Tay was born.
So you just like...
She just made the cut.
Spot on.
She just made the cut because I was like, after 35, I'm not having any more children. But I tell you one thing, having 3 kids and a lot of moms with 3 children, like you only understand this if you've got 3 kids. The 3rd child is God's way of telling you that that's enough, because you talk to any mom, they'll tell you the 3rd one's feral.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely.
But they're also the ones that bring in they all bring in love and joy into the home, right? But the 3rd one, it's like they're here for a reason. They're here for a reason, because I feel like they just come with such feisty...
Because such a zest for life.
Yes. And it's like they just spread that light and love to everybody. And it's exhausting, but it's like, it makes the house full.
Yeah, so I've always said... I thought that I would be okay with just 2 kids, but Tay completes it. Tay, she really does.
Always say, if I had started having kids in my early 20s or so, I would have actually had more children.
So I've always said if I win the lotto, I'd have 6.
We can't forget to mention the expense to the
kids.
As we were chatting just now, with extracurricular, and
it's a lot.
And the kids just go like, no, but I'd like to do this and I'd like to do that, and it's like, as I said, I just go, there's that lovely money tree in the backyard. Shake it, and then you can do this, and this. So but it's just lovely having that. Your home where you come in. I mean, I know on most days it's always loud and rowdy, and especially if you're having not such a great day, you just want to come to like peace and quiet. But sometimes the loud and the banter actually kind of lifts your spirits up, which is
I've often thought to myself, like, I've got friends who have chosen not to have children. And I think to myself, when you and your partner get home in the evening and it's just the 2 of you, like, I've had days where it's just been me at home. And my house feels empty. It feels hollow. And you know, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not saying that these people that choose not to have kids are wrong and they have a boring life.
Yes.
Each to their own, but
Yeah.
I enjoy the chaos. I enjoy
Yes,
the water splashed out of the bath and like the running after the 4-year-old to try and get her shirt on because, okay, look, she doesn't have to wear a shirt now, but one day it will be a priority.
No, I mean, I have mine that
necessity.
runs around in his brief and he's like,
Exactly.
he's all good.
But that chaos is just so lovely, and at the end of it, where you put their shirt on, you have a good laugh with them,
And I think the best moment is, I don't know, I still to this day, I mean, my oldest is going to be 16, but when they are sleeping, I even found myself looking at him the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I get from a baby to a man in this bed here lying? Like, it's a bit
Crazy.
too much, you know? But I still believe it's a little piece of heaven when you look at your kids asleep. There's that innocence that's like, and no matter how chaotic the day has been or how they've driven you up the wall, and then you just have that moment.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful moment. Yeah.
So my favorite part is just before they fall asleep, and last night was, in particular, it was really, really sweet.
Yeah.
I had Taylor next to me, then the kitten, which despite the craziness of my life, I've also got a tiny little kitten at the moment.
Just add on.
And then Dylan, and Dylan was lying and he was playing with the cats and the cat was purring. And he looked up at me and he said, "Mum, did you have a good day?" And I mean, like, all the lights are off in the room. I can just see this child's face. And I can see his eyes are closed, but he's talking to me. And I said, "Yes, my boy, did you have a good day?" He said, "Yes, thank you, Mummy." He says, "What was your best part of the day?" And I was like, this child is being so engaged with
But
me.
I mean,
Like,
exactly.
and the eyes are closed and he's
that
falling
little
asleep.
moment.
And this was his last thought of the day.
Yeah.
And this is something he does with his dad most nights,
Right.
because his dad puts him to sleep most nights. I have to deal with the chaos monster. But yeah, he was falling asleep and he said to me, "What's his best part of the day?" And I thought, this is. And I said to him, "Boy, this has got to be the best part of my day today." And he went, "Mine too, Mummy. I love you so much."
But isn't it a middle child as well?
And I was just
middle
like,
kids they just feel so much. They're so in
Yeah.
touch with their emotions.
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
And he is. I mean, he gets incredibly angry or incredibly loving, and he's always the first one to tell me if we're going out somewhere and I walk down the stairs, "Oh, Mummy, you look beautiful."
Aww.
And it doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you, as long as he thinks you look stunning. Yeah, you're good to
That
go.
just sets the tone for your day. Basically.
You're good to go.
Oh man, no, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love speaking to moms with 3 kids because then I feel like, hey, you feel me here.
Yeah.
I'm normal here.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we're going to go into a bit more of a serious kind of, with regards to your sister.
Yeah.
I know it seems like I've just gone from a
Yeah.
to a,
No, I know.
but yeah, I just feel her story is something so important for so many, because it's a guarantee that there's so many going through what she went through.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I think, let's just give us some insight on your sister. This is all you now. I'm just going to listen.
So my sister was she was born in 1990. I was 3 years old when she was born, and I know some people go back and they say you can't remember back past the age of 5. I think it is. Most people tell you. I was 3 and I remember the day she was born. I remember being dropped off at my granny and grandpa's house and my parents going off with my mum's big tummy, getting into the car, and I was getting a baby sister. And I was super excited about it. You know, you as you are when you're a kid, like, oh, there's going to be another baby in the house, and I loved babies. So,
and you probably thought you're going to be a little mummy as well.
Yeah. And obviously, as I told you before, and it's something that is not known to so many people. You know, people talk about people being gay or lesbian or this or that, and I mean, with Kirsty McKnight, there was that whole thing loosely thrown out with hermaphrodite and that. Yeah. And there is a thing known as intersex that people do not know a lot about.
Well, myself, I did not up until
I sent you the video.
Yes.
So, and when my baby sister was born, the doctors could not identify male or female.
Okay.
And it was because there was nothing to identify. So what happens is when you are pregnant, your body is supposed to decide at a certain point, male or female, and in her case, there was both. I've never been told exactly the extent to hers, except that they needed to do surgery within the first few days because they needed her to be able to urinate, and she couldn't.
Okay.
At this point, going back years ago, there wasn't much known about it, so obviously hospital staff were very freaked out by it. My mom, I think, told me they changed hospitals and everything, and where I thought I was getting this baby sister, it was kind of like a relationship that right in the beginning was, look, we had a lovely relationship, but she was in and out of hospital quite a bit. I witnessed her going through a lot of pain post-op. My mom would have to be at the hospital with her. She had, her name is Erica.
Yeah.
She had, I think it was a total of 17 surgeries in her 26 years. Yeah. Including a hysterectomy towards the end of it, which she was almost excited when I had Cora. Cora's the only of my children that she ever got to meet, unfortunately. Yeah. So when I had my Caesar with Cora, she was excited. I wasn't excited about having a Caesar. It was terrible. But she said, now we have matching scars. So that was something quite special between us. But growing up, there was obviously, I was hugely protective of her. She needed it. She was different. She knew she was different, but she didn't know up until, I think it was about the age of 13, when we were having a conversation. We were actually going to an orthodontic appointment. I was getting my braces tightened, and she suddenly piped up from the back seat, "Mom, I can't have kids, can I?" And that broke me. I sat there in the front, quietly, just tears rolling down my cheeks, and I thought to myself, sure, I never thought about that. Like, you know, I knew there was something to do with her downstairs regions, but I didn't understand, you know, and that's when I started asking a lot of questions about it, because I was like, wait, hang on.
The actual extent to this.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I had known that my baby sister had to go to hospital a lot. My dad, who's still to this day, I mean, the man can cook a mean potjie, but he's not very affair with the kitchen. My mother is a fundi in the kitchen.
Right.
And I remember the one day making him a salad to go with our dinner and cutting up apple because I didn't know what to put in the salad. So things like that. Like, there's these core memories, obviously, from growing up, where I think that's one of the reasons why I feel a strong independence and having to do stuff myself, because I learned from a young age how to cook and everything, you know, how to be there to help my dad, how to help my mom, and yeah, so growing up with that was quite something. She only started feeling very strongly about it in her high school years. And
so hysterectomy, sorry, when did that happen?
Hysterectomy, I think she was out of school when it happened, I think she was about 18.
Okay, wow.
I think. I'm trying to go back and remember. It was very much a blur for me. Like, it was trying to cope with obviously schoolwork and I mean, look, we had an awesome childhood. We camped so much. We were in Mozambique almost every school holiday. We lived a normal life. To anyone on the outside, you would never have known there was anything different. My parents were very good at making my sister feel normal, loved. Like there was nothing wrong with her. She was always told, "You are a girl."
Okay.
I mean, you heard in that video where she said it's obviously easier to make a girl than make a boy.
Yes.
And her chromosomes and all of that, they worked out that, and they, you know, often people say with intersex, and it's this whole woke vibe that's happening now, where people say they butcher these babies. A baby cannot tell you what, you know, firstly, what they want to be. If they cannot go to the toilet, then parents need to make a decision, otherwise the child's not going to survive. So all these people that are putting all these negative things on social media, they don't understand how hard it is for the parents to have to make this decision. And you'll have all these doctors come in front of you, and now you need to make an informed decision and the best decision for that child. You, like you say, you've probably got a bit of postpartum because now you've had to deal with quite a traumatic birth. And now you've got all these things in front of you. So
which avenue?
Which avenue are you going to go? You know, either way, your child's going to have invasive surgeries. That's going on in your head. So I feel for my parents. I mean, they did the very best they could. And like I say, like still to this day, I mean, those sort of things tear couples apart. They're still married to this day. Over 40 years of marriage.
Oh my goodness.
It's insane. It is so cool.
But that's also beautiful. In
yeah.
this day and age too.
I mean, they met on Valentine's Day. They live on the same road they met, and
oh
like
my goodness.
they are just and
the epitome of
yeah, exactly. And they were always there for her. I was always there for her. Like I fought her battles at school. She made friends with a girl who had been born with a cleft palate.
Okay.
And my mom opened up to this girl's mom, and this girl unfortunately opened up to another friend about my sister. And the bullying started at school. And she became a very bitter person as a result, which was very sad because she was very witty, highly intelligent, and she was just such a lovely person. A little bit unhinged at times with some of the comments and that. She would tell you like it is.
That's not bad. I mean, not
yeah.
We need people like that in this world.
But bullying played a big part in obviously changing her outlook on life and that.
Okay.
And she obviously never knew kind of where she was also in terms of her sexuality, and if she like boys, did she like girls. She had a couple boyfriends and that, but she ended up turning towards preferring female relationships.
Okay.
And I mean, towards the end, obviously her girlfriend, she actually wanted to marry her, and she had told me that she wanted to marry her, but 2015, so she passed on the 1st of February 2016. But a little bit of a backstory from there, a few months prior, when we had all the load shedding and that, on Tollgate Bridge, the lights were out.
Okay.
And a guy, instead of stopping, just ran the robots and T-boned her on her scooter.
Oh, no.
And she had finished a marketing diploma. She had a lovely job at a travel agency, and
so
she was
everything was just going.
Everything was going.
accordingly.
She had moved out of home. She was staying in like a beautiful commune place in Westville. She was loving life. She was a rock climber. She did fire poi, and she just fire staff actually.
Yes.
It was like a
Yes,
stick
yes,
with fire then. And everything was going great, but this was like the final thing for her. She had, when I say it wasn't even a broken leg, it was a mangled leg, her left leg, and she had to have multiple surgeries, and it was just, it was a lot. I mean, the day it happened, we were sitting at lunch, and my dad got the call, and there was this frantic woman on the other side, and she was saying your daughter's been in an accident, and my dad just looked at me and he goes, I can't. And I said to him, give me the medical aid card. And I think a lot of what I faced growing up, I think that's kind of made me prepared for it. I've always been able to go, give me the medical aid card, I'll sort it out. We're good. And I literally took the medical aid card, sent them home, and I just dealt with it. And then when I got to the hospital, they literally were handing me forms saying, if we cannot save her leg, can we amputate?
Oh my God.
And you sit there thinking,
how do you
I try to have a conversation with her. They had her so full of morphine that
she was young.
She didn't even know I was there. Only 2 days later, when she was a bit more compos mentis and with it, I sat down to her and I sat down with her. I said, do you remember seeing me in Casualty? And she said, no. She said, I vaguely remember seeing my friend Taz. I said, I was there. And she goes, the morphine must have been really good. But she was a very strong person, so we thought that she would get through that, but the company she was working for wouldn't understand that she needed 6 weeks to recover. She lost her job, she moved back home, and her life just slowly started like unraveling and falling apart. And that's when we started noticing a lot of signs of depression in her that I had seen before.
Bits of it in a sense.
I'd seen bits of it before, but never to this extent. She started making these comments. She lost weight, and she was, bless her, these extra chromosomes, these male chromosomes, they're not fair. She always had the hottest body ever.
Okay.
So she was always thin, but
Yeah.
not to this extent. She lost a lot of weight. She cut her hair all off, shaved her
So
head
you,
at one
you
stage.
can see the spiral slowly. Yeah.
Slowly. And as much as I tried to help her, she was often her own worst enemy, which is often what happens. She wouldn't get help. No matter what we did, she would not get help. She just believed everybody else was the problem, and it hurt, like not being able to help her, you know, and show her that she was beautiful.
Yes.
She
But
wasn't
I
a
think
burden.
being in that, I think when anyone's in that state of depression,
They can't see it.
You cannot see it. And she had so many blows in a short space
Yeah.
of time that it felt, I'm sure, to her like the whole world was just.
She felt like every single time she got somewhere, like one step forward, three steps back. Yeah. And she would often say to me, she was like, I don't know, everyone would be better off without me. I said to her, that is not the case.
Yes.
I mean, when Cora's dad and I got divorced, I don't know how I would have made it through without her. I mean, there would be nights where she would come and stay over, or we would be house sitting together, and she would get up and help me give Cora a bottle, and like she was just such a pillar of strength. Yeah. And she always used to say to me, "You carried her, but she's my baby." So, and she had that in her, and she had this beautifulness about her, but it was just so clouded and overgrown by all these things she had to face in her life, which was so sad. And I often used to say to her, pick up the phone and phone me.
Yes.
All the time. Or if I knew she was house sitting for my folks, I'd do random little check-ins, and I'd be like, I got your job interview, okay, you went, what happened? No, it wasn't quite my thing. And I'd be like, struggle not to give her tough love. But I was just calm and gentle with her, try again. And I know I always said I was always there for her, but towards the last few days, it just became hard. I was super busy at work.
Life happened.
Yeah.
Basically.
Had a terrible sinus infection, and I remember very clearly the day she passed. I was actually going to go and spend the day at my parents' house because my mom used to spoil us rotten.
Yeah.
If you were sick, you got soft-boiled eggs and soldiers. You chilled on the couch, and even if you were in your 20s, she ran around after you.
Oh gosh.
It was the best.
Going home to mom's, I'm sure.
Yeah. Even to this day, if I'm having a bad day, I pick up the phone, mom.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was my plan for the day, and my boss was like, "Kirst, I really need you at work." And I said, "Look, I'm battling the sinus infection, but I went and got Sinutab, which I thought I was buying the normal Sinutab. It was the extra strength ones. Do not ever double drop a extra strength Sinutab."
You're probably like, oh, hi.
I was.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So if the Sinutab is pink, only take one. So although I think that did help me that day with what I was going to face that I didn't know I was going to face. She had sent me a message the day before, and I'd been in a meeting, and I just said to her, the Friday before, because it was a Monday, and I said to her, I'm super busy, babes, I'll chat to you later.
Yeah.
And the weekend happened, got busy and that, and Monday morning I was feeling terrible. Said to my mom, I'm not coming through. My folks were going off to gym, and they had a bit of an argument with her before they were leaving for gym because, bless her soul, she was a very untidy creature. Living in a house.
One of those in our family.
Yeah. Shame, my parents got lumped with two. And yeah, they had a bit of a fight and that, which my mom felt guilty for a while. And I said to her, she was going to do what she did that day, irrespective. And that's one of the things I try and tell so many people that are dealing with the aftermath, as you would call it, from losing a loved one to suicide. You never know. You never know what's going through their head at that time. And if they are going to do it, you cannot stop them. Unfortunately, if they have made their mind up, 90% of the time, there's nothing you're going to do. You can't beat yourself up about, the unknown. And so they went off to gym. The helper was in the bathroom opposite my sister's room. She walked through, and my sister had hung herself. And she immediately turned around and started screaming for help. Phoned my parents. By the time they got home, it was too late. And I mean, you know where sort of their road is. I mean, you guys lived right down the road and Dawn lived there, and it's so quick to get from the gym back.
Yeah.
It's so quick, and they had this feeling in their heads that they would be able to save her, and they tried. My dad tried CPR, and then I got the call, and she never messaged me. She messaged her friend in Cape Town, and I think she didn't message me because she knew I would have tried to stop her. Yeah. So I was sitting at my desk. I got the call from my dad. All I could hear was my mother screaming in the background. I actually couldn't hear what my dad was saying at first. So I got up and I walked out of the office, and all I could hear in the background was screaming. And I said to my dad, what has happened? And he said to me, she's finally done it. She's gone, your mother needs you. That is all my dad could get out of his voice. And I just immediately started walking down the passage to the loos. Now, I never went to the public loos there, to the point where I think I had 3 UTIs in a year because I don't like public toilets. At that point, I needed to be grounded, and I just needed to get away, and I needed to silence the screaming that was still... After my dad hung up after saying that, and I could still hear my mother screaming in my ears. I don't know if you've ever been to the Olive and Oil at Lily's Quarter.
Yeah.
The loos just outside there. It's basically a granite vanity where the basins and everything was one.
Yeah.
I climbed underneath there. I sat underneath there shivering. Terry, the one girl that worked with me, heard what I had said, and she ran and got my boss. She says, something wrong with Kirst. She came through and she saw me underneath the vanity. At that point, my sister's friend messaged me from Cape Town, and she said, can you talk? And then she phoned me straight away. And she said, Kirst, I'm worried. I'm worried about Eri. She's going to do something. And I was like, my angel, you actually minutes too late. And we just sat in silence there. And the next thing I remember, my boss just pulled me out, and he just held on to me, and he said, what's going on? Why are you under the basin? Like, what's happened? He goes, if it's something to do with work, we can fix it. It's and
I wish it was something to do with work.
And I just looked at him and I said, my sister's killed herself. I need to go home. And he just held on to me, and he said, okay, we're just going to stand here for a few minutes, and we're just going to deal with it. Now, at the time, my husband was actually at a funeral.
Give us some tissues.
My husband was actually at a funeral, and for a friend of ours whose dad, it was a friend's dad who's had died in a home invasion. And I just phoned him and I said to him, this is what's happened. No, sorry, I didn't phone him. I texted him. I said to him, I need you to come and fetch me. I can't drive. Thank you, my angel. I can't drive. I don't want my boss driving me down the hill. I just need to get home. So he came and fetched me. And my mom was still, like, I can't even describe the sound. I can still hear it, but it was like a gut-wrenching cry. Her friend was there at the time already at the house, holding on to her. My dad was in his office, and we walked down the driveway to 2 cops walking back up, just saying how they're so sorry. And I didn't go through to my mom. I didn't go through to my dad. I went straight down to my sister's room, and I sat next to her and I held her hand. And I held her hand, I didn't realize, I only found out the next day. I held her hand for 30 minutes waiting for the mortuary to arrive. And then still they had to convince me to let her go before, so that they could take her.
I think that's just...
Yeah. So, and it's funny because she always had such cold, clammy hands.
Yeah.
And her hands felt exactly the same way that they would always feel. And the one paramedic said to me when I went to go and take her hand, he said it's going to be a bit alarming because she's not going to feel warm. And I said she never feels warm. She never ever feels warm. But I sat with her. I took her one favorite necklace and I put it into my hand, and I didn't let it go until the next day. The next morning, when I finally let it go, I had a bruise in my hand where I'd been holding on to it. And at the time, after the mortuary left, I went to my mom, sat with my dad, I read the note that she had left. And I was just trying to process all of it, but I was terrifyingly calm. I didn't cry. I didn't shout.
It was more of shock.
Yeah.
You hadn't settled.
It wasn't real.
Yeah.
It didn't seem
It
real
makes
for
sense.
me. It didn't seem real. Spoke to my dad about it, calmed him down, calmed my mom down. Although my dad's always been very calm as well. But it was the days that followed on after that for me has made the way I deal with grief and the way I deal with people battling with depression and grief is that everybody grieves differently. And
absolutely,
when I say differently, some people are angry, some people are very quiet, some people push you away, some people will want you by them all the time. Everybody does differently, and I was faced with basically a family of people who each and every one of them did it completely differently. It could have been great if one or two of them at least been the same.
Yes.
Yeah. We had to go to debriefing. Safety Net is obviously a government run company that come and debrief you, and you all go and you sit and you discuss it and everything, and hearing how it was affecting each and every person, including my mom's helper. I mean, she watched my sister grow up. She knew my sister from when she was a baby, and she was the one who initially found her. Seeing everybody battling with their own guilt, what could we have done if we had been there?
And I think that's the question that I'm sure it even still bugs you all to this day. Could we have done anything differently? I think it's only human.
It is.
Though it was, I mean, we have to make peace with it was her time. Unfortunately, it had to be in that way. But it's very hard to also accept it.
Yeah, it is. You think to yourself, why did they want to leave?
Yeah.
And she honestly felt in her words to us, in her letters to us, that we'd be better off without her. She didn't want to be a burden. And I feel that's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel that any person in your life should ever feel like a burden.
Exactly.
I mean, she brought so much to the table. She got me out of so many difficult situations, and for a long time I felt super guilty about not being there for her, not embracing what she was going through, and maybe just putting in a little bit more effort into time with her. But as mom, I was working.
Yes, I think you could be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
As I say, we're human. We will do that. But I think the piece that comes would be, unfortunately, it was her time and in that way, but also the piece of knowing that where she is right now, she doesn't feel that way. She doesn't have that weight on her. Because we can only, unless you've experienced it personally with depression, I mean, to an extent of that, we can't really relate. And you don't know what was going through her mind. And I know it's so easy as well, because we always, I even tell my kids as well, if something's worrying you, please speak about it, about it, because when you keep it in, but it's also easier said than done, because even us as adults, sometimes we don't want to, though we know we should, get it off. And it's so, this is what I wanted to touch on. You mentioned something the other day of 8 minutes.
Yes.
Which I thought was, I got on the phone with my best friend last week. We spoke about this, and I was like, I think this is such a brilliant concept.
It's amazing.
It's a brilliant concept. I just need 8 minutes. Please just tell us further about this 8 minutes, because I think it is absolutely brilliant.
So as a lead designer, one of the things that I always was passionate about is I'm the team leader, and sometimes I would have like 8 designers below me, and you've always got to be like considerate of other people and that. So I started following Simon Sinek, and he was recommended to me by one of my previous employers. And it's fascinating how he comes up with these concepts to help you through life, to help you through work, and all of that. And as he says, this 8 minutes theory is amazing. So it's basically an understanding that it is kind of like a paddle to say, I need help. And all it is you're allowing that person to feel that they're not going to burden you, because it's only 8 minutes. But if you time yourself for 8 minutes and you have a conversation with somebody, you can get through a lot in 8 minutes.
And you can offload a lot.
So you'll often see me posted on social media, especially this time of year. So December, January, and February, because those are the hardest months for people battling with depression, people who are dealing with loss, are dealing with cash flow issues, who are single and are maybe facing the holidays alone. And I'll post it because that 8 minutes, if somebody messages me and says, Kirst, I need 8 minutes, you best believe I'm phoning you. I'm telling everybody to disappear, and I'm focusing on you for 8 minutes. And in the workplace, with your kids, if my child comes to me and says, Mom, I need 8 minutes, or if one of my contractors says, Kirst, I need 8 minutes, I'm stopping what I'm doing and I'm giving you your time.
Because you know that that's something that is needed. And I think that I think it's just such an amazing concept, because sometimes you could be going through something so daunting. And you feel like you're about to explode. Yeah. But you don't want to offload. But then if you've got that person, even if that one person just need 8 minutes of your time, where there's no conversation, but I just need to offload onto you, basically, and release that, because when you speak about it or put your feelings into words, sometimes
it's you letting go
like it. And it also takes something maybe that big and kind of compresses it into, and you're like, hey, no,
exactly,
I got this.
But also, I could come to you and say to you, I'm broken, I need a loan. Or if I'm your child, hey, Mom, I've just crashed your car.
Yes.
That opening line, that icebreaker, is a lot harder than, Mom, I need 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then already now, okay, Mom knows that there's a serious situation, or your boss knows that there's a serious situation, or your friend knows that there's a serious situation, and you can say to them, I need 8 minutes. Now you've opened up the line of communication. They know it's something they need to be engaged for. They know there's something you need help with. And it just helps. He's
8 minute theory.
Yeah, 8 minute theory. And you can Google it. I mean, Simon Sinek is amazing.
No, I didn't even know it actually was a theory. I didn't know it's a thing, but I'm like, it's a brilliant thing.
Yeah, and it just helps open that line of communication.
Yeah, and I just feel it would save so many.
It would.
Save so many from so much.
Yeah.
And also making a wrong decision.
Exactly.
You get 8 minutes if you've got this really hectic decision that you want to make, you know. And if you just have 8 minutes, and just at the end of that 8 minutes get even a 1 minute input from the other person, it would just set a different tone, set a different path.
Yeah, it makes him feel seen and heard and not alone in whatever they're facing. Whether they've messed up, whether they need help, whether they're feeling depressed, it just helps. It really does. And like I said, there's so many people, we're so quick to share stories about celebrities, or like a celebrity's post or something. Why not put on your Facebook status, your WhatsApp status, copy that thing and say 8 minutes. If anybody needs 8 minutes, just message me and say 8 minutes. If you can take the time to share a useless reel or story or joke, and that, you can take the time to do that and put it on and say to your friends. Or if you see somebody sharing things, and often you see it,
that's it.
You can tell when a person's different.
That something is
off. Are they quiet?
It's either no posting from a person that's been posting, or someone that is posting things with kind of a story behind it, and maybe they just need one person to check in.
So my bestie lives in Cape Town, and it's always funny. We've got this thing where we message each other. If we haven't heard from each other for a while, we get a live with a question mark. So it's kind of like our way of doing it. But it's sometimes nice. If you haven't had a check-in with a person for a while, send them a message. You'd be surprised how many people are facing battles that you. And I think we also we all kind of fall short with this. If someone kind of backs out from your life, or you get less messages or less calls, and the first thing is, I'm not messaging back because I haven't heard from them in a while. Exactly.
But she didn't, or he didn't bother messaging me, or maybe try and be that person that just sends. I have this thing of, I always go, hey, just checking in. I mean, we all have busy lives, and with kids and chaos and whatever. You can't actually do it every day.
No.
So even if it's a once a week or once in 2 weeks, but just checking in.
Just a little check-in.
Because it's also, maybe that person doesn't want to message because they feel like, but she hasn't sent me a message in
Exactly
so long.
that.
And
you overthink it.
And you overthink it when actually there's a simple answer to it. Maybe that person's going through something that's so, and then yes, we being a bit prideful and don't want to actually message, or vice versa, but just bite the bullet sometimes, and just it's not going to kill you to go, hey, checking in, all good, how you doing?
Yeah.
That's it. And if they want to, kind of let out what's been troubling them, they will. But if not, at least you wouldn't have known that, hey, I checked in, and maybe they're just waiting for that one message from someone to offer that.
Someone to reach out so that they don't feel like they're burdening a person.
That's it.
Because it's often the case. And
90%
90% of the time you ask anybody who is depressed or going through that, often I say to my friends, I've helped a couple of my friends through it in the last year and in the last week even. And I often say to them, like, why do you feel like you can't talk to me? Come talk to me.
Yes.
Like, I love to make people coffee. I love to feed people. Come have a dinner. Like, but that's also another thing that is hugely important. If you know somebody is going through something, whether it's financial, emotional, whatever, sometimes sharing a meal with them can also, and it doesn't need to be go out to a restaurant.
Yes.
Come over for a pasta or a boerewors roll.
But it's the conversation.
It's them leaving their space, coming into your space, feeling important, feeling cared for,
and feeling that this will pass. This is a time that I've got to be in this right now, but I've got it. I've got this, and just to have that kind of that motivation and that support to know life is not perfect.
And it's not easy.
In the least bit. But we get going because we know we've got to cross these certain hurdles. If it were perfect, really, then there'll be no place for God, no place for anything, actually.
Exactly.
Just you get going. So, and it makes us into who we are, or to actually grow into who we are. That's how growth actually happens. If you don't hit these little crossroads, then how do you actually grow? There's no room for growth if you don't have issues in that. So there was a guy years ago that used to work at one of the BMW dealerships. It's one of the sales guys, and he always used to say to me, Kirst, it's not a problem, it's an opportunity. And he always used to say to me, anytime there's adversity or anytime there's a problem, it's an opportunity. Yes.
And I used to love that. Okay, look, 90% of the time I'm convinced he wasn't sober.
But
in those moments, he made sense.
He made sense. Even if the alcohol did it, he made sense in what he was saying.
And I just used to love it. And like even now today, like I think about it, if something's going wrong on a site, or that it's an opportunity. If a design's gone wrong, it's an opportunity to maybe change it and make it better.
Yes.
So it's also another thing you can think of is that it's not a problem.
And there's always I always say this, there's always a positive. Even if you're swimming in a ball of negative situations, there is always a positive. It's hard when you're in there to look for it, but if you really look really, really hard, you will find, even if it's an inkling of it, just to give you that pull and that,
So a little while ago, I was at Spa, and I know the Packers and that quite well at the Westville Spa, and I said to the one lady, she was looking very down, and I said to her, hey, what's wrong? She said, oh, I'm having a bad day. It's a terrible day. So I said, it's not a terrible day. So she looks at me, she says, maybe your day is not. So I said, no. I said, you've got a job and you woke up this morning. I said, there you go. There's two good things.
There's two good things.
Well, her face lit up.
See, if you look for it, because we get so caught up in what's going wrong that we forget that we're standing, we're living, we're breathing. Someone else is fighting for their life out there.
My job's so hard. My job's so hard. You have a job. My kids are driving me crazy. You've been able to have children.
That's it.
That's
it. So you got to keep. And we are human. Where we do falter, and we will have those days more than anything else. Where you will but you've got to just know when to quickly say, I'm getting our shit together here. We're gonna get going. This is life. Whatever it throws at you, we gotta juggle it, and we gotta figure this out, and have your moment to be a bit down, and throw a little pity party for yourself. I do that sometimes.
It's not the worst. Crying actually helps.
Yes. And then I'm like, no, got this. Let's get back on it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because there's so many different elements in life, you know, that we've got to face and endure, and some good, some bad, some ugly, some you know, got to deal with different types of people. Some will drain your energy, some will lift up your energy. So it's just, I think, just embracing the whole thing, and I'm trying not to be exhausted at the same time.
And also, like, with touching on the whole depression thing, and that if you can be anything, be kind.
Yes.
If you can be anything, be kind.
Absolutely.
So even if you're having the shittiest day and everyone's cutting you off in traffic, and you get to the shops or something and you're in a bad mood, just be kind to the person next to you in the queue. Smile at them. You know, like,
you just never know.
You never know what someone else is facing.
What that person is facing, no matter. And hence, it brings me right back to social media. It's that, I mean, I could take a picture that's picture perfect, and you wouldn't have known that I've had the worst morning, or I've just had an argument with someone that I bawled out crying, and then, but on social media, my picture looks actually quite perfect. So automatically, it seems like, hey, my life's so put together, it's so perfect.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we also mustn't get caught up in that facade.
Yeah, trying to show off and make everything perfect.
And I think hence is where TBHF, and especially season 2, is where we really want to be.
Yeah.
Like we say, real, raw, unfiltered. We really do want to be. I mean, we have moments where there's brain fog, and it's okay. You know.
Oh no, that was a real squirrel moment.
So,
I was like off somewhere up the staircase there.
But I feel you. That hit me so hard after 40.
Did you feel normal?
I'm like, what's going on here? Is this, have I lost a few brain cells, or what's going on? But literally, where it's blank.
So do you know when I was pregnant with Dylan?
Yeah.
No, it was when I was pregnant with Taylor. Gani sat there opposite me at the table. I almost threw something at him. I said, yes, but I'm really battling with the brain fog today. And he turned to me and he's like, brain fog is not a real thing.
Oh my God,
I'm like,
no.
Sorry, how many children have you had?
Yes. Oh, the cheeky bugger. I'd like to throw something at him. Brain fog is the thing.
It's a real thing.
Yes, Kirsty's Gani, whoever you are.
Yeah, he had the audacity, and I'm like, sweet pea, I'm 16 weeks pregnant. Do not come with that.
Yes.
You're brave.
Oh gosh, no, yeah. Brain fog's anything. So with that, what advice would you give to women who want to start something but feel like they're not ready? Because, you know, we all procrastinate a lot. And it's like you have brilliant ideas in your head.
Yeah.
But it's like you're just too scared to take the leap. And it could be a whole lot of factors. But now, what would your advice to?
So it's a hard one, because I mean, I was that person. I procrastinated. It took retrenchment for me to start my own company. So I can't be hypocritical and say that I took that leap completely on my own. I was forced. Yeah. Which is, it's almost like the easy way out. It is. It's terrifying, but it's
still terrifying.
It was a boot.
Yeah.
But my one suggestion is don't ever think that you're too old for a fresh start. Don't ever think that you don't have something to offer, and try and get yourself to a point where you can, especially with starting your own business, where you maybe have 1 or 2 months nest egg kept aside, so that it's a terrible thing. It's scary. It's scary. It really is, especially if you have a family.
Yes.
And also, don't be concerned to start something out of your garage or the room outside your laundry.
Yes.
I mean, case in point.
Yes.
My business started from a desk inside my TV lounge. That's where it started from.
Yeah.
So
it's a smart choice too. You don't have any rental to pay, so
right? It's amazing.
Free electricity.
Yeah, and you can claim back in tax,
and you can keep them going,
which is divine. But just don't ever think that you're too old or it's too late. And like I say, put your checks in place to make sure that you've at least got 2 months aside. And also, don't think that you need to be big and bold and out there, and don't feel like you have to have a website, you have to have this. Put yourself out there, cold call, those sort of things, lean on people who have leaned on you before. You can do that, they care about you. I and I landed a client straight away.
I mean, even if you go through 100, but you get one out of that 100, then hey, that's a win. That's a win. So yeah, with that being said, what's next for Design Sense Interiors?
We have a very, very exciting year this year. One of my clients, which you know very well.
Yes.
And I thank you for the referral as well.
See, this is women helping women here. Come on. This is what we emphasize constantly. If every woman had to help at least one other woman, and their domino effect continues.
Right, exactly. And the day I think you called me, you did message me, called me, and you said, Kirst, I've got a client that you will love. Well, I adore that family. Oh my gosh. Oh, they are the best. And they are the best. And I cannot wait to do this new build and build if ever home.
I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be something else.
It's going to be next level. It really is. There's a lot of travel on the cards this year. A very nice hotel client that I've signed as well. So yeah, we're going to be all over the country this year. So it's going to make juggling home and work very hard.
But you know what? You've got this. There will be days that it will be a bit daunting, but you've got it and you'll do it. Yeah.
I have a tribe.
Yes,
so and it does. It takes a village. It really does. So yeah, it's. There's some cool things on the cards and a new website, which is very cool.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Can't wait to see that. So one message you hope listeners take away from your story today, what would it be?
That you're never alone in anything, that your struggles matter, even though they might not be as big as somebody else's. What you're going through matters, that you need to practice self-care as well. If you're not having a good day, if you're battling, if you're just not feeling it, you need to take time for yourself. It's super important. And then as much as taking time for yourself and being on your own, lean on people that are around you. Message somebody, say, do you have 8 minutes? Because this life is hard enough to live without having to do it completely alone. So for me, it's self-care. Whether you've got 1 kid, 3 kids, no kids, just to reach out if you need someone.
Brilliant. I think finally, what's one truth that you are currently living by?
Sure. For me, that I've had to, my health has taken a big knock in this last year, and I've had to learn to slow down and to obviously prioritize my health over anything at the moment. So because at the end of the day, like I said to you, there will be more clients, there will be more work.
Your health is...
there's plenty of money in the world, they print more every day.
There we go.
So it's just, for me, it's prioritizing my health and just understanding that I won't be here for my kids if I don't look after myself now.
And trust me, as you get into your 40s, I know you are still to get there.
Still got time.
But health becomes...
It becomes a big thing,
a massive thing. And it's so weird that I would wish that I would have taken into consideration so much more in my 30s. But actually, 20s, I mean, we're all just doing our own thing, right?
Yeah.
No one's really being so healthy. But in your 30s, it's like, I feel like we need to start creating that foundation.
Yeah.
So it's not so hard, or when the reality hits, hey, 40 is a whole other game here.
Yeah, it's a whole other beast.
And it's like conversations. I mean, you listen to conversations. I mean, I listened to myself the other day with 2 ladies that I was chatting with. I'm like, I can't believe we're talking about, magnesium glycinate. You know this vitamin, you should try this here because this is like...
we sound like our parents.
Yes. So maybe these conversations need to be had in the 30s as well.
Yeah, we need to tell Gen Z, start early.
Yes, just start early so you get on the right time. Yeah. But Kirsty, thank you so much. It was just so lovely having you here, and the laughs.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Tears, and I think you've brought so much today from so many different perspectives. And I think more so important is the story of your sister. I know that you were very vulnerable to actually lay all of that on the table, something that's so close to you and close to your heart. But I know that that's going to reach so many, because currently as we're speaking, there's probably, I don't even know how many thousands of people that are contemplating suicide or sitting in situations that they feel they can't get out of. And I think it's so important that they know to try and reach out to someone. You know, it could make a change. As much as the situation seems so locked down, there could be a little light. You know, so yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, wish you all the best.
Thank you.
With Design Sense Made grow to unimaginable heights.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will.
We're hoping for that.
Yes. I can't wait to see how everything progresses this year.
Thank you.
And yeah, so guys, thanks again, and to our next episode. Catch you again on TBHF. Please remember to like, follow, share. We want this movement growing, guys. That's it.